Hello, hi, and welcome again to the Terminal Podcast, where in the end, it's all about the numbers. Tonight, we continue this hireman's return to the castle on the hill with another THS alum to answer a few questions. Please share your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Josh Reinitz, and I'm somewhere in the darkness of Massachusetts.
All right. Josh, you're here tonight
That's
to
me.
answer the William E. Brown Memorial Questionnaire as build up to the THS Class of 1995 30-year reunion on October 18. The event includes a 10:30 a.m. tour of our old stomping ground by a student ambassador with coffee, juice, and Teaneck Bagels to start the day. Later that evening, from 6 to 10, there is a full dinner buffet and open bar at Napoli Restaurant in Fort Lee with music by our own DJ Chalice. There's more info, including discounted hotel info and how to pay for all this fun. Check the invite me link in the description for full details or find the THS group on the Facebooks or Instas. I don't know. I'm old, so hence the 30-year anniversary. You'd have to ask somebody else if you can find it. Uh, as a former winner of this prestigious and random award, I'm here to ask someone else random questions, and after your answers, you may receive the same accolades I did. Josh, after that long intro, are you ready?
Yeah, I have two things up front. One, Chris, how do you let him get away with saying Napoli? It's fucking Napoli. It's
Oh,
Italian.
I didn't even know where it was.
Every single time, Napoli.
I haven't
Sorry,
seen,
Marty.
I've never read it, so I don't even know what he was saying.
And then the other question I have, Marty, is: do you think William E.
Mhm.
Brown's friends called him Billy Brown?
I have no clue about Mr. Brown and why
Like
he
you never
got an
reached out to
award.
him and said, "Hey, I won your award. Can we hang out or anything?" Nothing, right?
No,
So he's
the
probably
amount
sitting there
of,
waiting for somebody to reach out.
well, you're
Uh, j-
closer to him than I am even now, so you can
He
go
could have
check
been
him out.
like Monty Brewster's, long lost uncle.
yes.
He could have paid for everything for you. You just
Well,
reached out to Billy Brown.
I will put that on the list of things to do.
Josh, just to
All right.
make myself more angry, because Josh is in a
Yes.
car driving right now. I'm watching the Manning cast, and effing Daniel Jones is on.
Perfect.
Greatest quarterback in NFL history now.
At least you
Because
didn't
he's
sit
got
through 45
a
minutes of
functioning
traffic
running back. I completely
in
forgot
Michigan.
about Jonathan Taylor as their tailback. He's like a 2,000 yard back. So and they're actually giving him the ball. So if you're going to dip into a football conversation before we start this, are you ready, Josh?
I'm ready, Marty.
Question one: do you still think and or say you're from New Jersey? And that applies to when you leave the state, when you are in the road as you are, if you're in the darkness and pull off at some Heatherford Tail gas station to get that one last Slim Jim that he's got behind the counter, and he says, "Where are you from?" Where would you say?
Jersey.
Okay. It's the only other way to ask that question since you're in the middle of nowhere. Question two: what was your favorite mall growing up?
We used to take the Mall Express. You pick it up right by Cedar Lane Grill, and then take the bus, and it would take you from mall to mall to mall. When we were shopping, shall we say?
Mm-hmm.
I guess Paramus Park probably.
Okay.
Can't go wrong with the giant McDonald's and Haagen Dazs. Really good Haagen Dazs back in the day.
Mm-hmm. And
Riches.
the follow up is when's the what's the last mall? When's the last time you were at a mall?
You know I have three daughters, right? Um, within the you know what? Jen's birthday was last week. Scarlett and I were at the mall the day before, so September 13th.
Is that a live and functioning mall or a strip mall or one of the I was gonna say I don't know how many because you're in Jersey, how
Where
many
we,
deceased or dying malls are out there?
we were at Paramus Park, which is alive enough that they have a Sephora there that wants to take all my money. Um, but yeah, I mean, the malls are different. They're changing. Retail isn't what it was. so they're adapting. But yeah, most of the malls are still alive, at least up by us.
That's what I was wondering. I mean, I live in a different city and state, so therefore I was asking because I do not know, but I live around
Yeah, I mean,
decent
like
malls.
Garden State, Garden State's huge. Garden State has a ton of restaurants, a ton of high end stores, um, and then
Is the
a
Bergen
giant
Mall
movie
still
theater.
functioning? Is the
Well, the
Bergen
Bergen
Mall still
Mall they turned
functioning?
into like yeah, but they turned it into like an outlet mall, and it's got a Target and a Whole Foods as its anchor. So that's
Yeah, that'll
that's that
keep it
good.
alive forever. Those two, or
Yeah,
at
that
least in this.
that's
Yeah,
that's a good quarter
there's
century.
literally Josh right. There's a Target on one side, Whole Foods on the other, and then a bunch of crap in the middle, a bunch of
Yeah.
outlets.
But
Yeah,
if you've got those as your
It's got
anchors, that'll
a
stay.
yeah. I mean it's the only place around with a Nike outlet, so that's usually
Mm.
busy. Um,
Okay.
you know,
Mm, that's fair.
Riverside Square is total high end. Again, it has some
yeah,
restaurants, has high end restaurants in it.
Cheesecake Factory, super high end.
All right. Question number 3. Have you ever used advanced math like pre-calculus or trigonometry since high school?
Gonna go with no. Though there's somebody in the car who can still do that sort of math right now, but I am not one of them. Marty, you and
Well,
I sat in the back of like super honors math, and we were the two dumb ones. Remember?
I was gonna say,
Well,
wasn't it called Mix?
it was called
Yeah,
SMICS or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the day that class rank came out, Marty and I were the only two outside of the top 20 in the class.
Morons.
Well, I also didn't go to class sophomore year, but that's sort of
Well,
a whole separate conversation.
Lola, is Lola listening to this?
yeah, she's here.
Lola,
Perhaps
out
it
of
could.
300 students, where do you think your godfather was ranked in the class?
I guess.
For
Say it.
those who
You're right
can't,
here. What'd you say? Say it louder. 250. She said 250.
I think I no, I think I was like 217, so she's not far off.
It's not bad. That's, top 75%, right?
yeah,
75th percentile, baby.
it's a number. It's within the 300, so it's got to be
It's
there.
true. Fair point.
All right. This question almost feels like a setup. Question number 4. What do you think of drivers from other states?
Oh, it's
As
a
in,
loaded question right now.
I was gonna say you're on the road.
I think
Ha-
it's very regional. I mean, driving down south is a whole different ball game, or driving in Florida or stuff like that. I think generally in the Northeast is pretty similar. Driving in New York City is, a whole different animal. But
yeah,
yeah, it's different wherever you go.
I guess you've been on
I
95. Go ahead.
luckily, I fortunately was imbued with a ton of patience, so driving in the South doesn't bother me at all.
What did you just say?
For those who can't
Josh, when you're driving
hear
down
the
south, all
eyes
you have to
going
do
up.
is go straight.
Yes, basically, go straight, make a left, make another left, then make another left, then go straight more, and you're good.
Hmm, really
Take
gets
you
the
to
job
Ty
done.
Cobb's burial.
Question number 5. Do you still have or wear any of the clothing you wore in high school?
I have a bag in my basement with some T-shirts. I still have my autographed Dog Pound T-shirt.
Oh,
I have my absolute Teaneck T-shirt that we made in Junior Achievement or whatever they called it back then. And I know Jen has a '94, I think, indoor track T-shirt that
Huh.
she certainly didn't get herself. I assume it was Aaron Montgomery's, but I'm not
Yes,
certain.
yeah,
probably.
Um,
that
Makes
sounds about
sense.
right.
so in terms of Teaneck gear, I think that's about it. I may have like one of my soccer jerseys somewhere, but that's about it.
Okay. So clearly the wearing part is not an option.
No, no,
So
no. Try not to. You can't wear the Dog Pound shirt. Do you understand how? I mean, the
uh,
Gladstein and Elkin signatures would be significantly diminished if I wore them outside.
That's true.
it's a fair point.
Sean Elkin's signature is very valuable, if not
This
untouched.
it is. I see Sean on LinkedIn. He's doing his thing.
Question 6. Do you
Yep.
remember the black door and the white door?
Yes.
30 years later, your thoughts on the existence of those two doors.
Um, well, I mean, look, I know the history of it as opposed to, one side of town to the other. To me, it was more, by the time we were in school, it was more of like an ethos or like a myth, kind of like Freshman Friday and stuff like that, where everyone in school thought they were going to get jumped. Um, I never had an issue going through either door. I know Filowitz got punched the one time. But yeah, for athletes or when we played intramural hockey in the morning, that was right where you had to go in. So it wasn't a big deal. I think the one thing that's really interesting in terms of Teaneck, and I was last week that to me the culture shock wasn't how we grew up; it was going to college and seeing how segregated the lunchroom was, or how segregated other things were, and how um, it was just very different. I think we were very fortunate, especially at the time we grew up, to have been exposed to what we were exposed to and all the different cultures we were. And I'm sure there's a lot of things going on underneath the surface that we were not aware of. And we all know, kind of what happened in 91 and how everything exploded. But I think we're really fortunate.
Okay. Question number 7. Who did you have a crush on that never knew?
So I thought long and hard about this. And to me, the best answer I could come up with was Tyra Banks. 1993, 94-ish Tyra Banks in higher learning. And she never had any idea, and I lost my chance.
That is such a horseshit politician fucking loser
It's the
answer.
truth. Absolute truth.
I haven't listened to every one of these, Martin. I've listened to a lot of them. It's by far the worst answer that's been given.
Bullshit.
By far.
Not one person has named names for the record.
No, but people danced around. No, Joe Chiappetta named names.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, Chiappetta did. Other than Chiappetta, nobody else.
And listen, Amy Gerson basically said the guy's name.
Oh, all right. You would know better than I would. I honestly don't remember, but
it's a question, and I guess, like I said, the main part being that never knew, and Tyra Banks never knew of your existence, so therefore
that's a better lawyer
that
answer.
Is that yes, that is it is a wise answer for a married man. Question number 8.
Especially
Since
a married
we
man whose wife
graduated,
knows everyone else in the class.
It's also 30 fucking years ago. Tell her to get over it.
You can have that conversation with her if you want.
I will.
Okay.
I'm not saying you're going to be not in trouble, but fucking.
It's not. Yeah, you're going to leave. Chris is going to go home away.
Josh, there's a question. There's a question in the group chat that I have to interrupt for.
Oh no.
Andrew asked, which coach benched Eli for Geno Smith?
Which coach? What?
Benched Eli for Geno Smith. Was that McAdoo?
It was either McAdoo or Shermer. I think it was McAdoo. It wasn't.
It wasn't McAdoo. Okay. It wasn't McAdoo. Yeah.
Sorry. Important group text stuff.
Mark. No, because then Shermer was there when he came back, and he got him for the final not great seasons. Question number 8. Since we've graduated, how far have you physically traveled from Teaneck High School?
I don't know the numbers. I don't know how far south Puerto Rico is, or Jamaica. Yeah. So I would either say Puerto Rico or Jamaica, or the West Coast, San Francisco or Portland, Oregon.
You've ever been to Europe?
No.
Probably Jamaica, I would think. Just out of those. But
no, I think I'm gonna
Puerto Rico further south.
I don't think so, but I don't.
Oh, you were saying maybe Portland?
I'm thinking going west out to Portland because
Yeah,
that's about 3,000. So that's
yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
Portland, LA, been to Arizona,
okay.
Texas.
Question 9, Texas. It's not.
I'll be in New Hampshire soon. Does that count?
Well, it would, but it's not a logistic thing. Question 9.
Yep.
What do you remember the science classrooms looking like?
This also is the worst question in all the questions. Um, so freshman year, I had Jesus Jones, and her classroom looked like any other biology classroom that they still look like, having been in Lola's biology class. Just long, black top, flat desks. Sophomore year, I had Mr. Holly, which taught me that science was not in my future. And all I remember was sitting basically on a radiator or next to a radiator the whole time, trying to understand what was going on.
So you were like
And then
Dennison, head of the class?
yeah, well, it was me and Amanda Schneider kind of like tucked in the back corner with like three other people, and I honestly had no idea what was going on in that class. Um, and
I
then,
hated the chemistry class.
well, and then junior year, I thought I'd be smart and take like honors physics, and I think I lasted with Dr. Arts like a week, and then I ended up with Kirsch, and I didn't learn anything about physics either, but at least it was entertaining. And Kirsch's class was just like a regular classroom, what I remembered. It was like long tables, not individual desks. And then senior year, I don't think I took science.
You only need
I
3 years
wasn't I
of it.
wasn't I wasn't part of the marine bio cult like you guys and all your prior
Yes.
guys. And my
One
wife.
of the one of the great classes of all time. Me, Scott Hurwitz, your wife, Pamela Bob. I think Dan Cryer was in that class. Um, yeah, it was a great class.
I wasn't in that
Maybe
class.
Ami Barzilay might have been in that class too.
Can't go wrong with that.
Mm. Question number 10. What do you remember most from your life before graduation? There are many moments, but what is one that kind of stands out as what you kind of did or what was your life before you graduated high school?
Well, I mean, we could talk about the hair. No, not the hair. You heard that?
Yes.
Did
Yes.
you
There
hear that?
wasn't Lola, there wasn't much of that back then anyway. So.
Yeah. Well, there was the party at Chris's house when the mayor was doing a ride along with the cops and his son was inside.
Summerfest '94. Yeah.
Yes, that was that one. There was the other party at Chris's house with the pool. Was that the same one with the pools and the
Yeah, it was the
band?
same one. It was the same party.
Yeah, with the band. The Chris, were you in the car with us? I know Tosny was. When we had to do those we had to decorate the hallways for
Homecoming.
yeah, and we put way too much energy into it. I remember Mr. Burrows taking us to the mall to get supplies, which obviously would never happen now, right? And
Yeah.
somebody cut us off, and Mr. Burrows is yelling at him, and I'm pretty sure it was Tosny that gave him the finger out the sunroof. And Mr. Burrows was none too pleased about that.
Oh, Tazi was in the car with you and
You
Mr.
know,
Burrows.
yeah, I'm sure there was at least two other people in the car, but it was quite interesting. Um, I mean, there was Filowitz being crowd surfed. There was the time we got we all shaved our heads. I think junior year or sophomore year in soccer, and then someone went home and told their mom that everyone forced them to do it. So then we all got called down to the principal's office to you know people to tell them that we didn't force anybody to do it. I don't know, Chris. What else you got? Your memory's
I
significantly better than mine.
I mean, you're
Intramural floor hockey.
Intramural floor hockey was good. That's a great one. Chris has never told that story on your podcast, Mark.
Cheese
You know,
fries. Lots of cheese fries.
Well, so we're playing intramural floor hockey freshman year, and Chris's brother is friendly with the referees, being a senior. And Chris's parents are very proud. They're going into work late. They show up at intramural floor hockey. So Keith decides that he's going to give Chris the business, as they say. And anytime he got him in a corner, he would sort of, beat him up a little bit. And Chris would look at the refs who are Mr. Supiari and Mr. McLean, and they just shook their head as if they didn't see anything. And Chris was getting more and more frustrated, but Ron and the general were there, and they were very proud. They're the only people, watching the game, and we were trying hard. And then one time, Keith just basically sent Chris from one side of the small gym through the barrier to the other side of the small gym. Chris then takes his stick and launches it javelin style at his brother and yells, "Keith, you're an asshole," in front of his fucking parents. And he got thrown out of.
Needless to say, I was ejected from the game.
Yes. And I can only imagine what the general said when you got home. But yeah, that was a memorable moment. Did you get in trouble for that?
I don't remember. Blacked out.
I mean, Chris has a great story about getting detention the first day of school.
Yeah.
Or the Mr. Yelu, that was freshman year, right?
Yeah, me and Jude Goddard.
And Norman Jordan.
Well, Norman didn't get detention, but Norman had the one time where I don't want to say
that's another great story. Or the fun that we had with Mr. Gardner.
Big Art Gardner.
Certainly,
I think Big Art Gardner. I think he's the memory from high school. Just him. The fact that he existed and was a real human.
Well, that he told us that there would be he's ahead of his time. He told us there'd be a McDonald's food truck showing up at lunchtime. I know one time he sent me out to his car after lunch for gym class to get the bag of balls that he had in his trunk that he forgot to bring in. And he told me it's the Cadillac with the license plate BAG, Big Art Gardner. He used to have fun with Marty during the calisthenics portions. He used to sit on Marty's back. Mr. Gardner was great. And if you haven't, getting back to your question earlier, the book Color Lines by Mike Kelly. That really talks about what went on in Teaneck in the early 90s and before. There's a huge part of it is about Mr. Gardner and what he did to sort of unite the town. And it's really interesting and worth your time if you haven't read it. Though I don't know if it's still in print. That's all I got.
You have reached the end and shall receive the same accolades as this former winner. Thank you very much. As always,
I'm now a Billy Brown Award winner?
No, you've completed the questionnaire and you've received the same accolades. Thank you very much once again. That's all I got. And
did
as
you get
always,
a trophy or anything or a certificate?
The Terminal Podcast ends with a trivia question.
Oh, no.
I could bore the both of you and Lola with talk about Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, Teddy Riley, and the launch of the New Jack Swing in the late 80s and early 90s. That's about the same time, Josh, you and I were being dropped off at the rink after young teenagers and middle schoolers like us were picked up or made it home. It became a hangout referenced in songs most loudly like by De La Soul and a roller skating jam named Saturday, a roller skating jam called Saturdays. The year before De La Soul is Dead dropped, the revival brought Tony into relevance with It Never Rains in Southern California and Feels Good with the quotable Tony has done it again. Anyway, I could go on, but I won't. The song spent 2 weeks at #1 on the US R&B chart, peaked at 9 on the Billboard Top 100. With the single success, the album, The Revival, charted for 64 weeks on the Billboard Top Pop Albums. The number I'm looking for is, what number did it peak at?
That might be the longest rambling question I've ever heard in my life, and I have no idea what you're asking me. Chris, do you have any idea what he's asking?
No, I never do.
That's half the point.
How about Jodeci? Can we have a Jodeci trivia question? They lived around the corner from us. Or the time that Biggie
It's
Smalls tried to pick up Julie Brown
it's got to
at
be a
the
number. It's
motor
got to be a
vehicles.
numbers trivia question.
It's a
All
numerical
right.
trivia question. So Jodeci,
So what album? What album are you talking about?
the revival.
By Tony?
Mhm.
There's no way Tony had enough songs to fill a whole album. I'm only aware of one
Oh.
song.
You could just pick a number between 1 and 200.
All right. So wait,
And
the question is
KIM.
where did it peak at on the R&B charts in 1989, 91, 90? Is that the question,
Yeah,
Marty?
no, it charted for 64 weeks on the Billboard
That's,
Top Pop album. So
well, did
that's
it ever surpass the
What's the question?
another bad
I
creation or
just gave
Chris
you the
Cross's
question.
albums?
What's the question? Just say the question quickly, as quickly as you can.
What number between 1 and 200 did it peak at on the chart? Which I did before and before again, but it makes no difference.
In
We're
honor of my
counting down.
teenagers, I'm gonna say 6'7".
6'7". Yeah, I knew he was going to say that when he said in honor of teenagers. I'm going to say in honor of teenagers. I'm going to say 69.
Those are numbers. Thanks
Now
for
comes the
listening
part where
again.
Marty doesn't give us the answer.
No, it's in the
No,
trivia.
the
It's in the.
number
I know.
will be in the description for the episode. This is the
He's like
short
Doctor
and long.
Evil. He wants to make it the most elaborately, most difficult thing to do.
Well, Dr. Doofenshmirtz if it's going to go that way. Thanks for listening to the latest W.E. Brown questionnaire. Once again, this is a promotional tool for the THS Class of 95 30-year reunion on October 18th. Events include a return to the Castle on the Hill, discounted hotel rooms, a full dinner buffet,
Napoli.
an open bar, along with fellow Highwayman DJ Chalice on the Wheels of Steel. Check the Invite Me link in the description for full details, and I'll be back hopefully with something much more organized and better to put down. Lola, thank you very much. Josh, Chris, once again, take it easy down your life's highway and have a good evening.